I would like to discuss with you now the physical environment, okay? Because remember we spoke about those two elements. So in your notes, let's put the physical environment. Now, the first aspect that I'm going to discuss is space. Yes? We're going to begin with the physical space. Now, unfortunately, most educators do not have the opportunity to design their space from its origins, okay? This would be the ultimate luxury, yes, to be able to design your space from its origin. Yeah, generally the space is given to us or chosen by us, and then we have to really use our ingenuity and our creative skills to really construct an environment that's really going to aid the child and not hinder the child's development. So we really have to use a lot of creativity with this space. Now, one of the things that's really crucial to space is size. Size is a crucial factor, okay? If sometimes the space is too big, it can be overwhelming for the child, and he may feel really lost in its vastness. You know, it's like when you walk into those big museums and those big halls, you can really feel sort of overwhelmed, and you feel a little bit out of place. You know, in one of my schools, I have really, really high ceilings, you know, because, you know, I live in Amsterdam, where we have buildings that were built in, you know, in the 14th, 15th, 16th, you know, sort of 18th century, where, you know, these ceilings in some buildings were very high. Likewise, if the space is too small, the child can feel restricted, and it can really hinder then the child's exploration. And when the child is too small, when the environment is too small, we have to really be careful with the balance of the amount of materials and the amount of children that we can put in that environment, okay? Because if it's too small, it's going to be very difficult. And the problem is traditionally environments for young children are often too small. They think, oh, they're only little. Let's give them a small space. Yes, that's what people generally think. They're only little, they don't need much space, let's give them a small space. But this is so wrong. This is really not correct, because you think of that toddler learning to walk. Their equilibrium is very unsteady, and they really sort of, you know, stagger around. And they'll bump into things, and they find it difficult to coordinate their movement around other people. They really need space. Now, in a Montessori infant community, and I know I'm going to have to do this in feet and meters here now for all countries here. In a Montessori infant community, we recommend 7 square meters. Okay, 7 square meters or 75 square feet. Yeah, 7 square meters or 75 square feet per child. Because the problem is when there's a lack of space, this can lead to aggression. Because these children that are really refining and developing their movement, they will bump into each other. Yes? So creativity in the space with both furniture and numbers of the children will optimize your space. So, you know, even though traditionally in an infant community, we have very low shelves, okay, just with 2 shelves, maybe you need to have 3 shelves so that you have less shelving. You know, but then you still have to make sure that the shelves are low enough for the children to be able to take the materials off the shelf. Maybe if you have a high ceiling, you can create a mezzanine level. You can create another partial floor in the environment, so it gives you more floor space. If the environment is too big and is too vast, maybe by using the shelving, you can create borders and little cozy corners in the environment. So this space and the numbers of children that you put into it is going to have a crucial impact on the dynamic of the group. So even though we say traditionally in an infant community, we suggest, I was saying yesterday, 12 to 14 children with 2 teachers, maybe if the space is very small, you have less children. Yes, maybe if the space is big, you can have more children. You can have 16 children with 3 teachers and create these areas within the space. Yeah, so it's something you're going to have to really think about. The other thing is often we are restricted also by government regulations. Government regulations sometimes state the amount of space that you have to have. Luckily, with most countries, you can exceed the regulations. If they give you a very low square meterage, say they give you 5, they don't mind if you go to 7 meters. They usually give you a minimum with space. They usually give you a minimum. But this is something that you will have to check, is that you have enough meterage per child. Yes, per child.